in the exam, they can give you an equation. They can say hydrogen gas combines with oxygen gas to give us H2O. Of course, you already know the first thing is to balance the equation. Sometimes you can find the equation is already balanced. Here there is 2 hydrogens. Here there is 2 hydrogens. Here oxygen is 2, but here oxygen is 1. So I'll put 2 in front here. So that oxygen is 2. Hydrogen will become 4 because this 2 times this 2 will make 4. So it means I have to put another 2 there. Okay, so it's balanced. Now, this is the equation. The question can come, they can say, what mass of water is produced, when 2 grams of oxygen reacts with hydrogen. Those are the questions that usually come in the exam. So they can ask you such a question. The first thing you do when they give you an equation and then they ask you what mass of this is produced when this number of grams, you look at the question first, and then you concentrate what are your point of interest. The question is what mass of water. So it means water is my point of interest in the question, water. Okay? 1. 2. Is produced when 2 grams of oxygen. So it means water and oxygen are my main things that I'm supposed to use. I'm supposed to use water and oxygen. There are only 2. You always use 2. So it means this second part, hydrogen, is not necessary because the question is only talking about water and oxygen. So I said 2 grams of oxygen. So you write first. The chemical equation was 2H2 plus water. How was this? Yes, it was 2H2O, I believe. So the first thing you do first, you find first what are we comparing? We said we are comparing water and oxygen. So you pick water and you pick oxygen. The way they are written, you pick them. Water, you put it here, H2O, and then water, oxygen, you put it here, O2. Water, you put it this side. Okay, that's what you do. The next thing you do first, you calculate these masses, the mass of water and the mass of oxygen. That's the first thing you do. Okay? So how do you find the mass of this one? How do you find the mass? You remember how to do this, huh? How do you find the mass of oxygen? Let me solve them separately. I need to find the mass of oxygen and also the mass of water. So I'll calculate oxygen separately. So oxygen, you remember how to find the mass of this. You get it from which radical? O what? O8, oxygen is O8, 16. So you remember what I said, you use the number that is on top here, which is 16. So the mass of this is going to be, what do you have here? 2 times this 16 on top. So what's the mass here? 32. Okay, you found the mass of oxygen. And then the mass of water, where's water? Water has got a 2 in front. Have you seen there's a 2 in front here? So it means whatever I'm going to get, I multiply it by 2. So what do we have there? I do for water also. Find the mass for water. So mass. Because there's a 2 in front, meaning my formula will start with a 2. But to be outside the bracket like this. And then I do open bracket. What do I have? Hydrogen is 1, 1. From the periodic table, I think I've explained this. I've explained how to do this. Because this hydrogen is from the periodic table. And you remember how hydrogen looks like. It's H1, H1. Oxygen, it is O6, 16 there. So you remember what I said, when I find it the masses, you always lose these numbers on top. So there's how many hydrogens are down here? 2. I put 2 times What's the mass for hydrogen on top there? 1 plus, open bracket, oxygens there how many? 1. Mass of oxygen there 16. You do like this. So what do you have? 2 times 1, it's 2 plus 1, so it's 18 times 18. 2 times 18 will be 36. So I've got two masses, 36 grams. We have got the mass for oxygen, 36. That's where now you can solve now. So I've got the mass for, I've got two masses, mass for oxygen and mass for water. So you write oxygen, what was starting this side? You had put oxygen first this side. In front is oxygen. So you put oxygen. Okay, you put oxygen there. And then this side is water. Okay, so the mass for oxygen which we found is the mass for oxygen was what was the mass for oxygen? Mass for oxygen, okay, it's there. Mass for oxygen is 32. So 32. Mass for water is what? Mass for water is 36. You can see it there here. 36. Okay. The question was find the mass of what is the mass of water? Meaning on where water I should put X. Okay, that's what I'm finding. So on water I put X. Water side, where is water? Water is this side, so I'll put X. They said find the mass of water. When 2 grams of oxygen, so it means here I'll put 2 grams. But then you can cross multiply. So from there you remember how to cross multiply. 32 times X, it is 32X is equal to 2 times 36. 2 times 36, you remember. Oh. 32x, there's x there, 32x. That's when you divide by 32, that's when you divide by 32. And then x is equal to, you multiply this divided by that, it will give you should be 2.25 grams. Of course, you have a calculator, you're going to try it on your own. That's how you find the mass of oxygen. Have you seen that we did? We balanced the equation, we found the molecular masses, and then we equated them.